Today we're going to take a look at the Swiss Army Grip Ranger series, particularly the RangerGrip Hunter 58, and why I feel like the RangerGrip series is one of the only tools you really ever need when you're in the backcountry hiking, camping, or backpacking. Well, that's right, folks. Welcome back to another video here at Gideonstactical, and one of my favorite places in the world, our Blade Boot Camp here in the Rocky Mountains. And that's right, we are going to be looking at this RangerGrip series, going to be talking about the series as a whole today, and really diving into the Hunter version, which is the model number 58. That's what I have here. I've had a couple months now of regular outdoor use with it, and I've discovered, and I'm going to show you today why I feel like this design really can perform and do like 90% of any outdoor task, regardless if you're a bushcrafter, you're a hiker, you're a camper, you're just an outdoorsman, whatever it is that you would really ever come up against when it comes to carving and whittling and trap making and, you know, whatever it may be. This has so many functionalities and is so comfortable that it's almost the one-stop shop for just about any outdoor task. And we're going to break it all down for you today and share with you why I've fallen in love with this Swiss Army series in the RangerGrip series, guys. So let's go ahead, jump into it, and take a look. All right, let's get to it. The two things that you don't normally find on a Swiss Army knife are two of the main things that I'm totally digging about this multi-tool. The first aspect is the one-handed deployment. We have a nice huge notch right here, very easy even with leather cold weather gloves to open and deploy the tool. You don't even have to flick your wrist. It's not a fast action, but you can absolutely do that. And that eye hole, that thumb hole, just operates so well. It's so easy to deploy the tool. You don't have to use two hands. That's awesome. Now it does have a recessed liner lock in there that is disengaged by pressing on the Victorinox or Swiss Army logo. That then moves the locking mechanism to the side, and then, I'm trying to do this all in frame here, sorry. There we go. You're able to close and depress and close up the blade. So that's a big positive. I really enjoy that a lot. You can depress that even with cold weather gloves. So I really like that a lot. Now the locking mechanism is good. You're gonna get a little rock side to side. You can get a little flex up and down, just slight, but compared to most Swiss Armies that are just slip joint, I will way take that locking mechanism for general utility over no locking mechanism. And I do like that it's recessed in and easy to disengage if need be, but you're not going to accidentally depress that when you are working with the tool. I've never once accidentally disengaged the lock when I'm cutting, doing woodscraft, doing whatever I need to do. So that is an awesome feature that I really like about the tool, the locking, and the one-handed deployment. Then we move on to the blade itself. We have a 3.9 inch from handle to tip blade. Now there is a very large dulled ricasso basically right there on the blade that's almost 3/4 of an inch. So you're really getting a 3.5 inch actual sharpened edge right there, but you're getting, you know, the same steel that you get on all of Swiss Army knives tools, which is a decent stainless steel. You will have to tune it up on a frequent basis, but you know, it's okay. For particularly the price that we're looking at and things like that. It'll hold a decent edge and is very rust resistant, which is a positive. Great edge geometry, good kind of hunter's point to it. So this is great for all kinds of woodscraft, feather stick making, notching, spear making, food prep, all of those type of things that you would want in either a pocket knife or a compact fixed blade. The blade shape absolutely does that extremely, extremely well. So I've been very happy with it. I love opening this thing up and just doing the finer, smaller work that you don't need a big, you know, survival knife for, you know, things like that. And a lot of times where I would maybe bust out a Mora, I just bust this out instead because I get a lot of reach, and the geometry of the blade works very well in my favor for any type of outdoors focused use. Now you can absolutely use it around town as well if you need to or want to, but I mean the reason I bought this is for outdoor use, being in the outdoors as a possible replacement to a Leatherman because of the handle that we're going to look at and the sizing and all of those aspects, and the fact that I have yet to use pliers out in the woods, though I do know that there may be moments where that is needed. The positives versus negatives, I feel like the negatives of weight and clunkiness of a plier-based multi-tool tend to detract from my usage of it compared to something like this, and that's why I went this direction. So great blade, does everything you want. The only thing I just don't really understand is why the ricasso is just so large. If that had been brought back a little bit, been a nice little feature. It's not a deal killer, just something I noticed. So one of the greatest aspects to this is the handle. Now this is the grip series, and that means that you get that polymer that you know from Victorinox and Swiss Army, but then they have these rubberized inlays on either side, which really helps with the texturing. I really like that. That really adds to the versatility, but also just the grip and then the rounding contouring. Now this thing is 5 inches overall length, and I don't have my caliper with me, but it's ballpark about 1 inch in thickness. Now I did get, again, the hunting version. If you don't feel like you have a need for that extra blade, you can get one that will be way less and will be obviously thinner. So but it's just, and it's 1 inch high. It's 1 inch high as well. So when you open this bad boy, particularly when you're using the blade, which is what you're really going to be focusing on, I believe, if you're purchasing this, is a long period of time cutting with this or sawing with it. You want good ergonomics, and the tools are recessed in well so they don't bite into your hand. The contouring, the thickness, the fullness, the length, with winter gloves on, cold weather environments, it works fantastic. It just is very, very comfortable. It is close to reminding me of like my Mora heavy duty companion. It's almost at that level, not quite, but I mean, it reminds me of that. I can use it for a very extended period of time. There are no sharp spots, no pain, no issues, and it fills out my hand really, really well, which is rare with most pocket knives and or multi-tools. I mean, think of a Leatherman multi-tool. It's thick, it's clunky, it's square. This is very contoured, round, grippy, large in the hand, and it's going to fill out that hand very, very well. Reverse grips, pull grips, push grips, no matter what you do with it, it's going to feel good in the hand. And again, if you're using it in a hunting format with that extra rubberized texture, it's not going to get as slick and slippery if you are around blood and guts or water or moisture. You know, maybe you're using it, you know, with hunting with a fish, you know, or excuse me, fishing, and you're cleaning your fish, you know, those type of things. It does give you some really good grip. So the handle ergonomics for a multi-tool are outstanding, phenomenal. I don't own another multi-tool that has as good handle ergos as this blade. Next up, we're going to hit this saw. So it's pretty easy to grab with gloves because of the way the tip is out here. Swings open. This is a 4.2 inch wood saw. I mean, look at that thing. That thing is a monster. 90-degree spine on it. So that's one of the only 90 degrees on the tool. So for outdoor use, throwing sparks, you can do it. You need to do it really close to this joint because it is a slip joint like most other Swiss Army tools. I really wish that the main blade and the saw were both locking. The fact that just the blade is okay. But man, if this had locked, that would have just given you extra security. You'd been able to even bear down more on it. As it stands, this is a great 4-inch woods tool and can do awesome work for notching. If you are into notching woodcraft for triggers and traps and all sorts of things like that, or carving, you know, you're getting into carving and you need a woods tool and with a saw on it, this is the best, longest saw that I am familiar with out of all the multi-tools, regardless if it's like a Surge or, you know, like a Wave or whatever. Those are all right around 3 inches. You're getting a 4.2 inch saw that does awesome. It dominates the wood, very easy. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. You don't have to be concerned about it binding up. It really removes the sawdust out of the way with every pass and just works so well. I'm very, 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 very pleased and gets so much work done on the smaller stuff with this little wood saw. Just to show you here, the ergonomics have no issue for me. Again, with my large size hands, this loop right here, that is the thumb deployment, actually acts kind of like as a stop guard back there, and I'm able to get all of the motion that I would need, and it doesn't feel cumbersome or weird or awkward. If you had super large hands, then yes, your finger would be right there, but it doesn't cause any problems for my large size hands. Now on one side, you are going to get the classic Swiss Army Victorinox tweezers and toothpick. Now some of you guys can tell me, I kind of was looking around, I don't know if I could find it, or maybe it's like a specialty website. I've heard that you can actually get like a little ferrule rod that'll fit in there so you can throw sparks with it in a pinch if you had to. That's kind of sweet. So on the back side as well here, we do have an awl that will pop that little bad boy out, so that's nice. Got a lot of features you can do right there. Then on the other option side, back side there, you do have your 3D Phillips screwdriver, which are decent. They work okay. Again, this is mostly an outdoor tool, but a lot of you, you may be like, yeah, I use it every, weekend when I go camping, and then during the week I use it, around the house and do maintenance stuff. This can do basic things. It just doesn't have quite the reach, that you may desire. Then we come over here. You got the classic, can opener, flathead, bottle lifter, as well as larger flathead and or small prying. I wouldn't be cranking on tons of stuff, but you can open a paint can, something like that. Wire stripper down in there as well. Now this being the hunter version, it has a hunting curved blade for skinning and opening of game. Now you can buy basically the exact same tool without this blade, and that will slim it down, that'll cut down on some of the weight, and it's just one less tool if you don't feel the need to have this curved blade. I actually found this version on a deep discount. That's why I went with this version. And I am hoping at some point in my life to get into hunting, and this may be something that is a good feature for me. Now, this has about a 3.2, I think if I remember correctly, actual cutting edge. The nice sweep there, again, an FFG, full flat grind, so it's gonna be a wicked slicer. And up here is a rounded tip with about a 1/4 inch of dulled, unsharpened blade there, so that's not accidentally going to nick guts or innards of a piece of game that you may, or an animal, that you may be cleaning. So they've really thought through that to help it act like as a zipper to open up whatever game you may be cleaning and processing, and not accidentally nick innards and cause problems and ruin the meat and things like that. So I have really only used it to this point a couple times to actually collect grass to help me start a fire. There was some high grass that I wanted to use to do, fire steel and start a fire all naturally. And this was a nice little blade just to kind of hack away at the grass down near the roots and get what I needed. And because of the curvature, kind of acted like a sickle and worked really well in that capacity. I haven't really used it in any other capacity for hunting as of yet, but that is part of this tool, and that's the hunting version. All right, guys, we'll hit price with you. As I said, I got it on a deep discount. This was actually like an open box from Amazon, and so the normal going rate on these is going to be between like $55 and $65 for the hunting version, the model number 58 version. And you can find them without the hunting blade for about $45 to $50, so about $10 you can cut yourself depending on where you get it from. I will have links for you guys below: Amazon, Blade HQ, GP Knives. You can check out their Swiss Army collections that they have. But for the price, I think I paid $45 because of the open box. But anyway, let's just say $60. I don't have another competitive option really to show you guys because I don't have anything close to this. But think of, for $60, if you are looking for a tool that has good ergonomics, has a couple extra features for can opening and screwdrivers and things like that and all, but you want really like a saw and a good sized blade with great ergonomics, I mean, this thing is, go for it. You are not going to regret it. It's the Swiss Army quality. It's functioning fantastic for me. I've used it for months now. I will continue to use it for years to come, and it has now become a staple in my outdoor hiking, backpacking, camping, outdoor adventure collection. It is absolutely a staple now because of the materials, the ergonomics, and the features of particularly the main knife and the saw. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks so much for coming over today, checking out the channel. I hope you've had fun as we've looked at the RangerGrip series, model number 58. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. Do you enjoy these as much as I do? Or do you find that they are lacking? If so, how? I want to hear your guys' thoughts and comments below. I always love the back and forth that we have here. And yeah, guys, can't say enough good things about it. It has now become a staple in my outdoor adventures and will for years to come. So thank you so much. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, the other video popping up right now. You can watch that. If you're not a current subscriber, I invite you to subscribe and become part of the GT family. We're putting up videos all the time here at Gideon's Tactical. And yeah, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.